Well, good evening, and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. I'm your guide, Desi Lou, and today we have a very special guest, of course, Miss Lucas, as she's put here on her name tag, but to me, she is mom of mama, mother.
Yes.
So however, today this what this is titled is Lost in Translation. And why I titled that is because I do feel like a lot of people can misconstrue who we are by the things that we go through or the way that we try to convey ourselves or how we try to have people perceive us. So I am interviewing my mother today. Which I think should be awesome. I mean, I've been her
Yeah.
historian for her entire life. Well, my entire life, actually. But I keep great record, okay?
She does.
So, well, I will allow you to tell them about yourself because I know they done heard about you from me 1,000,001 times.
Well, hey, everybody out there who's joining Desi Lou podcast, the Immerse Experience. My name is Mama Lucas, and a little bit about me is that I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago in the Robert Taylor Projects. In those projects, it was stealing, killing, drug addiction, you name it, it was going on. The Robert Taylor Projects was considered as the black belt. And for the first time in my life, I seen the whole 18-wheeler get jacked in the middle of State Street. I mean, they were taking the stuff off the truck and throwing it. They had a assembly line going on. And then also I seen them jacking a whole train. So, the lifestyle and where I lived, that was a norm. Poverty stricken was check, 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 check. Most of the mothers that lived in the Robert Taylor Projects, which was 16 stories up in the sky, and they were all like single parents and on welfare. A lot of the generations got caught up in smoking weed, pot, whatever you call it nowadays. We didn't do blunts, but we had tops. And so, as the years went on, a lot of the uh, people got addicted to drugs. Crack came out on the scene, in the 80s, and it just blew, a whole generation away, and I was one of the persons who got caught up in that. And so that lasted for a while. The first time it was 7 years, and I think yeah. And then after that, I was 19 years clean, and then after that, I went back and 4 years, and through all of those, intervals of using drugs, I lost myself, I found myself, and um, everybody in my family did drugs. It was like inedible that I had become a drug addict. Not everybody, but most of that generation that I was raised with, did drugs and everything. So, but, for some reason, I always knew that I was some kind of amazing and awesome person. I always felt that in my heart, and I always trusted God. In whatever I do, the journey was not easy, but I had the spirit of determination and resiliency from somewhere. I was not going to let nothing stop me, no matter how bad things got. And so, in that experience, I lost my daughter. I wasn't using drugs then, but she died. And I mean, we were homeless. We lived in shelters. All the bad things that come with drug and substance abuse. But I met some amazing people along the way who believed in me, and it took for me to believe in myself, and then something, kaboom, it happened. And I am so excited about the kaboom. It's like the Tanya's Big Bang Theory, coming into myself and learning about who I am and loving myself and staying drug free, and also being a rehabilitation coach and an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker. And I just love it every day. And I'm so glad that I have Christ Jesus in my life and the support of my family and most definitely my children.
Awesome. Okay. Well, all right. So we're just gonna hop right in. So I know you told me something the other day stating that you are a substance abuse influencer. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, I love what I do. I go out and I go to treatment centers and I go and I speak on a volunteer, status. And I feel that I go to the women because I can relate to them more. And I have a curriculum that I have put together, me and God. And and actually, I put it out there. I have a projector, and I'm showing the people, the women, and we're talking about it, we're dialoguing about it, we're breaking it down, and then I encourage them or influence them to stay drug free, and let them know that I'm no different than them, and they can, if they want to be drug free, they can do it also. And it's a major passion of mine. It's like a baby being born.
Every single
And it's
time.
funny. And it's funny about it because the more I give away, because I used to be just really ashamed that I was a drug addict, a recovering drug. Even after I got off of drugs, shh, shh, don't tell nobody. Miss Lucas used to be a drug addict, because I have so much love, and I come across as this really sweet person, and so I didn't want to ruin that image. But God was like jacking me up. He was like, "You got to tell your story. You got to do this. What I called you to do." And I'm like, okay. So now, because Satan always want to keep you shut, keep your mouth shut.
Right.
But that didn't happen to me. I'm telling it. And I'm excited about it.
How do you think that you come to terms with some of your most embarrassing moments
Forgiveness.
of self?
Forgiveness forgiveness of self first.
Hmm.
Yeah, I came to terms with some of my most embarrassing moments. And then listening to the ones that I heard and telling them that I'm sorry, that those things happen, and that's how I did it. And just really not letting nothing take me back, just trusting in God.
In a moment, just thinking about everything, is it anything that you could say that drugs gave you?
Drugs gave me a testimony.
Okay.
I can turn a tragic into a testimony. And because I would say that my life was a horror story, in those intervals of substance abuse and with the crack house and the baby born crack addicted and being homeless and oh my gosh, it was just really awful. It was awful and it was like a horror story. And I'm so glad that, today I don't wake up embarrassed. I don't wake up with fear. I don't wake up to say, oh my gosh, I'm still alive. I wake up in peace. And I be thinking about well, what can I do today to better myself and to touch other people's lives. I literally do that.
That's a good way to wake up.
Yeah.
Imagine if everybody woke up that way. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a historian on you, right? So
Mhm.
I remember reading this article, and you just had like an expert excerpt in it or whatever, and you talked about how poverty was a mindset and how it's a process moving from um brokenness to healing. Do you remember
Mhm.
that?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
That's crazy. Well,
And you're a
I
historian and you keep the records.
I know. Well, I think you were working at Dwayne Dean at the time.
Okay, okay.
And so with that being your ideology or your mindset at the time, how do you think that you still have a poverty stricken mindset? And if not, how did you overcome that poverty stricken mindset?
Well, you have to change. You have to change things that you're listening to. You have to, you know, be positive about yourself. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. I walk by faith, and I give away what I have. And I start believing that I am not, I could right now not have a whole lot of money, which I don't, but I'm not in poverty as far as my mindset is concerned. I am not in poverty. I am rich. I
Right.
am rich with the ability to smile. I am rich with the ability to give. I am rich with the ability to tell somebody you don't have to live your life with being a drug addict because you was not born to be a drug addict. I am rich with life. You know, I'm like a to me, I'm like a citrus fruit just bursting out. And wherever I go, I just give it, even if it's just to a smile. Somebody say, Miss Lewis, how you doing? I'm telling them I'm doing great because the God that I serve is great. And that's every day. That's just me. I have hope for life because I've been through so much, and I just wanna give, I give.
Okay. So, what goals do you hope to accomplish with your platform that you have created for yourself?
My goals that I wish to accomplish as far as a motivational speaker is to do go worldwide. I want to go worldwide with it, and build that platform on a whole another different level because no limit recovery it involves drama, lecture, and motivation. And when I go and I speak, I have my props that I do. This right here and this right here. It's a sign of darkness, and you got to smash that thought of drug addiction. You got to knock it out of your head. So I'm a drama major like you, but in my own little way. And
Hmm.
so I love to cheer people on because they are, you know, getting they're working through, even if they're just one day clean and sober, and I'm just letting them know, hey, you're a winner. and so, and so, I have other more props. I have a whole cloak that I put on, and it just looks like the Grim Reaper. You know, I might put up a board, and it may say congratulations with balloons, and it's just the simple things that I do. And then I promote my curriculum that I have. You know.
Okay, okay. And also, what other services and things do you provide with along with your business as an entrepreneur?
I'm glad you asked. As an entrepreneur, I have a company. I am a small Black business owner, and I am very proud. Now, coming from where I came from, it took me a while to really get that in my head, and to really be operating in it. So, my company is called Lucas Enterprise Helping Hands, and I have a cleaning service. I do, grocery shopping, child care, parents night out is what I call it, and then also senior respite care. And so that's the enterprise of my business.
Okay.
And I love doing it. And one of my major core uh, uh, part of my business that's moving is the cleaning. I mean, people, and then even in that, I had to find my self worth, because it's like, okay, first I was just like, can I clean your house, me. And then, I hear my kids in the background, Mama, you gotta charge them, you gotta let them know, you gotta have your self worth. And I was like, and so I gradually moved up to telling people, hey, look, this is what I do, this is what I can bring to your house. I can take the stress away by providing you with a clean environment. And when I tell you, when I go in there, they know that Lucas Enterprise been there because I shine their house. If God told me to shine heaven, I have it cleaned up too. And that's the way I feel about my cleaning service. And it's a passion, just like, oh my God, I don't even know how I got into it, but as I think about it, I've been hovering over that idea of cleaning for a very long time. Even when I had my firstborn child, I went to go clean somebody's house in Dallas when me and Deandra was living there, and she let me clean her house, for a couple of weeks. I remember, and but now it is a bona fide working business. I have principals and uh, detectives and teachers and different people who principal. Yeah, I said principal. Different people homes that I go and clean, and I am still learning to make that pricing right. And but it has been a blessing, and I can see where I can grow in it tremendously.
Okay. And as a businesswoman, when do you make time for yourself?
Early in the morning, I would
Okay.
get up and I would pray and I would sit and I would think and anytime, I would, but sometimes I do, get a little carried away because I do have a full-time job. But since all my kids are grown and there's nobody here but me, so I have to plan, some time for myself. Yeah, I'm still trying to perfect that.
Okay. Okay. So there is a saying that we were talking about earlier, and I told you that when I tell people that you said this, they feel a way about it. And what you had told me one time, and I want you to understand that this helped me put life in a very different perspective. But
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of things that you've done that has helped me put life in a very different perspective or helped me view it in a different way that I don't think I would have been able to ever look at it in. And you said that you will always be a recovering addict. And the perspective that it helped me put it in is I was if I say I was once something, if I'm not doing it anymore, it's still a tendency or a habit that I could easily fall back into if I'm not aware. So what is it that you mean by that?
It's true exactly the way you have just said it. Because being a recovered drug addict, in that arena is relapse for real.
Hmm.
Anybody can relapse back into their drug of choice. And so it is very important. Uh, Once you have achieved or have come to a realization that as an individual, you can't use drugs anymore. You have to start fighting. You have to guard your mind. You have to guard your head, your heart. It's like you putting on the whole armor of God, and you put on your helmet to protect your brain and all the thoughts that be coming through. You put on the breastplate of righteousness, and you pull out the sword, and you have your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel. You have to be protected, but you have to actively be. You can't be passive about it.
Gotta
Not
be
that you gotta
assertive.
be, huh?
Gotta be assertive.
You gotta be assertive. You can't be like, it's not like you gotta be, I'm gonna relapse, I'm gonna relapse, I'm gonna relapse. Your conscience is gonna always tell you the truth about yourself. That bell is gonna always go off in your head and when you're about to do something wrong. That goes for any situation. You know you're going to do something wrong. You know that it's going to ruin your life. But it's like the id, the ego, and the super ego. The id is just like, okay, we're going to chill. The ego is like, no, we're not going. And the super ego take over, and it's like, just forget it. I'm just going to do it. And people can think of any type of reason to relapse. Oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I have an eating problem. Oh, everybody around me is drinking and smoking. Oh, I just lost my mother. Oh, I just, I got a divorce. And so they're going to have to protect themselves and just go through the process in the normalcy, not with drugs and alcohol.
I get that. I feel that. At what point in life did you realize that you have been neglecting you?
When I moved to Florida.
Wow. How long ago was that?
Mhm. 6 years ago. Yeah, I just, sometimes I say, "Oh, I'm about to be 60 years old in November, and I've missed a whole lot." But what I realized the other day, I am right on time with everything. It just don't make a difference how old I am. I'm right on time with it, and so self-love and self-care and self-awareness and oh my gosh, those things hurt. It's like, oh, I'm like this and I'm like that, because being by myself, I don't go nowhere and I really don't, unless it's for working purposes or motivation or something like that. But for the most part, I'm pretty much by myself, and so I don't sit at home and just watch TV. I uh, try to see how I'm going to move to the next level. I
Right.
need to get to the next level. I know I've been poor. I know what it's like to be broken. I know what it's like to do all of these other things, and so, my goal is to discipline myself because I had wrote on my wall because I write different things on my wall, and it says, well, on a piece of paper on my wall, and it says, the greatest version of me is a disciplined version of me. And it's so
Okay.
hard to tame the flesh.
Okay. I heard that you wrote something like that because I had wrote something. I had posted something the other day that says stated, you will never achieve success unless you learn the pain of discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of something one and the same, really.
it is. Yeah,
So
you have to discipline. And then there's another one that I wrote. It says, if you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret.
yes. How many
That's
things
deep.
in life do you regret?
How many things in life do I regret?
Yeah. How many bills of regret have you received?
I don't have any none. I don't have any today because I've accepted them all.
That's it. And that's what it's about. You gotta accept
Yeah, I
everything
have
that come
accepted them
along with
all.
you,
And in the
everything that
moment and
was
in the
you.
space that I'm in, I mean, I can say I regret using drugs, but my drug addiction has put me on a platform to where I don't know where it's going to take me to in the most positive way. I don't know how many people I'm going to speak to, and so, I mean, I can have a lot of regrets, and that would be me opening up the door to the past. But since I closed that door, I don't have any regrets today. All I ask for is forgiveness and and and, and just love myself.
Right. I would think there was a that we had a conversation about unappreciation and definitely combating feelings of unappreciation because I know a lot of times that things that I go through make me feel unappreciated. And it was really a way of me trying to figure out how I combat my feelings of unappreciation for myself. And I
Mhm.
have learned like a lot of times I'll pull away from a person. And then also it's a lot of self-validation for me. I check all my marks off and be like, okay, did I get this correct? Or was I looking at it the right way? Did I do what I was supposed to do? Did I exhaust all my options? Because everybody not gonna always make you feel appreciated in the way that you want to feel appreciated. Because so you got to go around understanding um everybody's language and how they love people. How do you combat feelings of unappreciation?
Today, I don't brain fight with myself anymore
Mm-hmm.
because my being validated by other people or being unappreciated by other people, it rode on the wave of my low self-esteem. It rode on the wave of me not loving myself. It rode on us. So I'm just, I just turned it back on them. That's their problem. It ain't none
Yeah,
of
I
mine.
know that's
That's
right.
your problem. I can't,
Yeah.
I can't, I've been through too much in all of these instances of my life, these chapters of my life, some things are just not worth battling over. It's like you on your own with that one.
That's the damn
Unless
problem.
God
That ain't
give
got
me a
nothing to do with
word
me.
for, huh?
Yes. I said that's a them problem. That don't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, unless God give me a word to say something to him, because I appreciate myself. If they say something and they right, I'm gonna say, yeah, you're right. But don't keep on coming at me with it. Leave
Right.
me alone.
You know
Just
my
leave me alone.
limitations.
I don't agree to it, and there it is. Leave me alone.
Yeah. It's
So
really not leaving me alone. It's fuck you.
okay, I know that's your word.
You can't say it, I say it for you. Fuck you.
Okay,
God.
okay.
Because I know people be trying and people will try you. You understand me?
They
Somebody called,
will.
I told you earlier, somebody called me egotistical. When people can't get their way with you, baby, they will call you all types of names, hoping that they can
Right,
bring you down
right,
just a little
right,
bit to make you forget how big you are. And it's a lot of
right.
people out here who walk around trying to step on people and belittle their worth
Maybe
because they
trying
not
to
sure
speak
about
on
them.
you, and especially by me having this. Okay, so one of my problems that I still, fight with is speaking up for myself.
Hmm.
I don't, I'm not as bold and and telling people, like you say, fuck off or something like that. I,
Fuck
don't- I
you.
don't, I don't, and they'll tell me something and it'll be a shock. I was like, I can't believe it's me. I can't believe you felt that way. I mean, why would you come to me like that? I do something like that. But when the offense happens, I don't go to them and say, look, you was wrong for saying what you said and don't say it. I don't know how to, same face. But
Just like
I'm
that, the
learning.
same way you just did it. That's exactly how you do it. Now listen, I didn't like the way you was talking to me. And what they gonna say, because
Yeah.
I'm just telling you my feelings. So if you feeling some type of way, you can get the fuck on too. So you know what? I was on the phone with a friend, with a friend, And he was telling me, he said that he was like, "You just so nonchalant." I was like, "Why? Well, I don't have a choice but to be anything else. Cause if I love you, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna come to you.
Right,
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing that I feel like I need to lie to you about. Everything
right,
that I need
right,
to talk to you about, I could talk to you about because I love you. I don't want to go through the hassle of lying to you to make you feel good or make you think that things are better than they are. No, this is what I'm going through. And you
right,
can't
right.
accept that. So when you come to me and you tell me, hey, listen, I don't want to deal with you no more. And I say, okay, that's fine. It's
That's
a
fine.
problem. Nigga, you said you ain't want to deal with me no more. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
so used to people chasing up behind y'all because y'all not sure. Y'all ain't made y'all mind up yet. But like my mind made up about me, baby. I'm not finna chase you. You said you don't want to
Right.
talk to me. I'm gonna make you stand on it. On all 10 toes.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it on your tippy toes, flat footed. I don't care how you do it. Baby, you can hang
Listen
on
to
by a thread,
all
but you
that,
gonna stand on
huh?
what you said.
Mm-hmm. Make it make sense.
That's what I said. Cause if they can't, then it ain't. People will play in your
Right,
face all day long if you let them. You better tell them. I'm not for none of that shit.
right, right.
Hello. Yeah, I always tell people God,
So
that's what
I'm
God
still
did.
learning
God
how to
didn't
do
play with
that.
nobody. He said, "Oh, y'all don't know how to pray." What he told them? What he said to them? They didn't know
Right.
how to pray or something, or pray without him or something. What was
What was that? Pray without ceasing.
they didn't know how to pray without what?
What? Say that. Say that again.
When God was telling them me the disciples off.
Oh, they went to sleep.
Yeah, y'all can't stay up. Y'all can't
He
like
went up. Well, yeah, he told y'all can't wait, stay up and pray. There, he went up to the mountains, and when he came back down, they was all asleep.
yeah, y'all what? God had no problem correcting nobody. And
He sure
if we was
did.
created in his image, baby, you shouldn't have no problem correcting nobody.
I
That's what you set them
know.
boundaries for. That's what
And
that's what they for.
I know that come from when I was a young girl. I just wanted to, kind of like please, everybody because I didn't understand people being mean. And I know this is where all of this stem from within me. And so even as a especially my mother, and I was like, I don't want to be like her. And so I believe I had, you know, took that and just wanted to be a helpful person and be humbled and whatever. And then as I did that, I started feeling like I was a slave because it was like, yes, ma'am, okay, no worries, all right, I do it, no problem. Which I'm still like that, but I found out what I have is a gift. It's
Yeah.
a, it's a gift, and but I still need to be more assertive for myself when other people, try to, step on me or something like that. Because, but I do now. If they just go too far, I can speak out for myself, but sometimes it's just like it's not worth my time.
It's always worth my time because you got me fucked up. Baby. Listen, it is always worth the time. Because who did you
Yeah,
think you were talking to, sir? Ma'am, excuse you.
right.
No. People be thinking they can try. I
Yeah.
said, I told these people I done played stupid one too many times because now y'all trying me.
Mhm.
Baby,
Yeah.
you better act like I done studied the Oxford Dictionary. Which I will
I know,
read you. Are
right?
you crazy?
Right. Yeah, because some people they hear like when I used to be a drug addict, they start treating you funny or acting funny or whatever, and I was like, you don't know my story. Period.
Yeah. And I know
Yeah.
you said that was your theme song. So
Mhm.
I could hold, and I heard when I was listening to the lyrics, I was like, yeah, I can understand that. It's a lot of different things. I even remember you talking about how it was just like you coming back into the church, being an evangelist, and then being on drugs and stuff. And
Oh
I
my
could see
God.
the extremes, the extremes of it all. So I can,
Yeah. Yeah. And don't be fooled because there's a lot of people in the church struggling with drug addiction.
yeah, I know.
Whether it's pills, whether it's, drugs, They looking for God, and you can go to church. You can go to church and then go straight home and get high. So these things is real. As far
What
as
I do.
you know, people in their religion and stuff like that, they fight, they battle with a lot of stuff, and we just have to start being true to ourselves. We just have to start, being transparent. Transparent. The hardest thing is to say, "Hey, Latanya, how you doing? It's a pleasure to meet you. Now let's get this straight." People
Yes, you
think,
have to get an understanding with yourself. Say
yeah,
that.
you gotta get an understanding with yourself, if and it's okay to take that shovel and just start digging and just I don't care if you gotta dig 10 feet, inside your soul. You just gotta start digging. It's like, okay, God, what is this about? Why do I act like that? That's how I communicate with God. What is this? I don't like it because it's not getting me anywhere. And then I have to learn to let people go,
Yeah,
you know. And I didn't know how to do that, just like, oh, who loves me? Oh, no, nigga, bye.
definitely be that
And
sometimes.
I did that, when I first came to Florida. um I was totally in love, uh, with Michael, and I was just so in love with him. But I knew, well, I think God really had me jacked up. He was like, "If we, excuse me one moment,
Eh, she probably going to get a prop, y'all. Oh Lord.
I got the prop."
Ah, how did I
He
know?
said,
What did I?
"If
How
you
did I
go back if you want to."
know?
And I felt it in my spirit. It's like, come on, knucklehead, you better wake up and smell this coffee right here. And baby, your mama didn't go back. Like,
Right, right. Woke
I
up to the
be
best
scared.
coffee you done ever had. Baby, listen.
Be scared. Be scared. Be scared for your life. I have to be scared because I know this thing is real. This ain't, substance abuse ain't no punk. If
Right.
it get the baby inside the womb, if it causes me to be homeless, if it causes me to turn my house into a crack house, if it causes me to lose I almost lost relationship with my children, with y'all.
Yeah.
You know, I had a stream of hurt going on, but I wanted to play the victim, but also I wanted to be high.
Yeah.
Oh, but you was different.
I was different.
Yes, I asked for some money. You gonna give me some money because you didn't want me for,
I
you
ain't want
know.
you sucking no dick, girl. I ain't gonna lie to
That's
you.
what she
I done
said,
had a
y'all.
million and one times, honey. Call me.
You
Call me.
know, and of course, I hurt my children, and they were devastated. Y'all was devastated when I went back. Not the evangelist, not my mama, not the one who changed the what was snake path to the holy path. Not my mama. You know, yeah. That was just wow. That was devastating. And you the one discovered it. You the one asked the question. And
I
so
always be knowing everything. I exposed my daddy, everything. I've been a snitch.
you've been a snitch.
Who going to jail for who? Who? I ain't never let nobody play in nobody's face. Who face you finna play in?
You sure told me, and I was like, huh? Yeah, but we got all of that
When
cleared
they
up.
can't play in my face, they damn sure ain't gonna play in your face. But what?
Right, right. Yeah.
No, ma'am. I don't
Yeah.
got time. I was just, I really, even when you was going through all of that, I was wholeheartedly just rooting for the person that you would become. That whatever you could overcome, however you would do it. I'm in love with every single version of you, mama. I don't really care about how it happened, where it happened, how it came from. You taught me so much, even in your wrongdoing and your right doing. It's just
Right.
a lot. What?
Right. And I get excited when I think about that. I get excited, of the relationship that I have with my children, and I mean, there's been some instances that, something went sour and some questions were posed, and I understand that, and there's just some things that I can't make up and I can't take back, but I can go forward and say, please forgive me and I'm sorry. But I know even in the midst of all of that, I'd never stopped loving my children, and I just didn't leave them. I just, it, and here I am. I have the best, I have the best relationship with my family, and I love it.
Yes, and we love you for it, honey.
And
Makita, uh, Makita, oh, girl, you know I'm gonna tell the truth, and my mama know I'm gonna tell the truth too, girl. She know I ain't gonna play around with it. If you don't want to step into the truth, I'm probably not the person you should be talking to at all. Like,
right,
never, don't never hit me up, no, because I had
yeah.
to tell her, girl. I said, I ain't want you out there. I ain't want you out there looking all types of crazy. Not gonna embarrass me. It's,
And it was so crazy that when I was like living over there on Belknap, and I didn't fool around with a lot of people, and when Michael came on the scene, that's when everything got exposed. And but I had considered myself as like being a sophisticated drug addict. Cause
that was
I would do, and that was just the hype. I would do my thing and then I go to sleep. I ain't got to get out there and fool with nobody and stuff like that. But the more I exposed myself, the more I got out there. I mean, there was drug dealers all over the place, and they knew about me and I knew about them, and they knew I had a good job and they were there. Neighborhoods are dangerous too. But there was one neighborhood that I turned around, and that was in Fairway, when I had got off of drugs and then your dad. And it was amazing the way that even happened. So, it is what it is, but I'm so happy to be alive and to be here to talk about it. Not only just to hover it, for myself, or hold it in my heart for myself. I give it away. It's like, let me, great motivational speakers always talk about how you tell the story, and I'm going to tell the story, and we all gonna listen to it together, and I'm gonna get some interaction, from the people that I'm talking to, and you should just see how exciting those people are and how they lean in to hear your mother's voice. I used to hate my voice. I was just like, ugh.
wow.
But
Every time we hopped up in somewhere, some nigga talking about some. Oh, she got a voice of an angel, girl. Hey, what?
and y'all was like, oh no, y'all don't know my mama. She real blah 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 blah.
What? I used to tell everybody, girl, what? Makita said, thank you for sharing. She said, tell the story, mama. It's lifting. So never be afraid to tell your story, girl.
I tell a story. I tell a story. I really do tell a
That's
story.
right.
And guess what? I am my biggest cheerleader.
Okay, you gotta be, cause who gonna cheer you on like you gonna cheer you on?
Yeah.
Me.
Life is not easy. It's challenging. You just got to figure it out. Because one day, let me see, what happened? Somebody said something to me out of the way, and it had something to do with a relationship, and I was like, you know, in so many words, I was like, fuck that, because when I die, they're gonna put me on a gurney. They're gonna cut open my head. They're gonna cut open my chest. They're gonna take all my insides out. They're gonna do all this. But this message was for me. To learn how to just don't let people walk all over me, and for people who don't appreciate, uh, they don't appreciate my love. They don't appreciate me. And then I go and die with some kind of broken heart or not fulfilling my vision and my dream. I'm laying on that table. They're cutting me all up, getting me ready and everything, and I didn't get a chance to do what I know that I needed to do, what God had been placing on my heart. But I've been fooling around with knuckleheads and people who don't mean me no good, or people who don't care. They can't even see your vision and dream, at all. And I was like, forget that. I'm just gonna do me, and I have been very successful with that.
I know that's right. Well, I just want to thank you so much. So many people was like, "You want to interview your mama?" I said, "My mama open book, baby. She talk. She's gonna talk a lot."
Right.
So, but I do thank you for coming on here. And I think this is like your second time being on here. I really do. So, um,
Yeah.
and Makita said, "Right, live your full potential." And she said, wholeheartedly, telling the truth, girl. Because it ain't nothing I don't tell you every single day. So hello. Anyways, but I do appreciate you for coming on to the immersive experience. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to them before we leave?
I just want to encourage everybody to live your best life. If you need to forgive somebody, please do forgive them, because the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. A lot of people thought I was crazy when I forgave the man who killed my daughter. And to this day, I still don't wish any ill feelings. I wish he would have got a little bit more time. But as far as, my family, my brothers and on my daddy's side, they was ready to kill him and hang him and slay him and everything. But I have no ill feelings, toward that man. And it's possible it could be reached, regardless if he was raped or experience abuse and from your mom and your daddy, your uncle, whoever, and then also, I am trying to move toward a 501c3 with my No Limit Recovery. This is my logo back here. And if you can see it, there it is. Look, I'm trying to put it right there. And that's No Limit Recovery. And what this means is there's no limit to love. There's no limit to sands on the seashore. There's no limit to the stars in the sky. There's no limit to the water, which is indicative of the Holy Spirit. This is the world where no limit recovery and is going to reach out to. And this is the lighthouse right here. And this is the light. This is the light of God that's shining out. And that's wanting to deliver the people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol. And then and so if you like to help me contribute, any kind of donation is good. Excuse me, $5 or $10 or whatever, to help move in that direction of turning it into a 501 a
Yeah.
501c3, I would really appreciate it. I should have had me a bottle of water. And so Desiree, she knows the Cash App, $ Mama Lucas 55, I believe. That's what it is.
Oh,
So that's the goal for No Limit Recovery. And then also, I want to also say that if there's not a door open for you, create your own door. If
okay.
there's something that you want to do in your life, create your own door and start walking toward it. And then you will walk your own red carpet and you'll be the star of your own show. Not conceited, but humble and blessed.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for all those lovely gems, for sharing everything that you've shared with me that has helped create my kingdom through your queendom. I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much. Tune in next week, you guys. I hope to see you all there. And this episode, Lost in Translation. Thank you so much for being transparent with us today, Mama. I appreciate it. Y'all have a
You
good night.
too. All right. Bye.
Bye bye.